Hey everyone, Kiba here. And the reason I made this video is because I wanted to kind of share a little bit of what I find has helped me place constantly in, say, Plat, um, in Guild Wars 2 PvP. Now, I know a lot of people who might be watching this want to just improve their win rate for many reasons. One of them being you want to complete that legendary collection quick, you're looking to get gold, or you want a title. Maybe some form of all three is why you click this video and you want to watch. A little bit about myself. I've played a little bit over 9,000 games. I've actually placed as high as top 19 since season 9. And also I placed second in February's North American monthly automated tournament. So the whole point of this video is there are a lot of common mistakes that inexperienced players or even experienced players make that causes them to really not be satisfied with where they're at in ranked or really overall in PvP. So I wanted to share a lot of tips that really help me. And these are just 8, but I can go more into detail a little bit later in some other videos. But actually these are 7 tips, what I find useful in PvP that help me succeed. So enjoy. So the first tip is going to be graphic settings. The reason I bring this up is because I know Guild Wars 2 is a very beautiful game to look at when you're playing. However, it's not really necessary to see all of its beauty in PvP. The reason why is because there is a lot of animations that just cause visible clutter in the game. And when you have 10 people on a map that are constantly fighting each other, throwing out all these different animations and skills, it can be a little bit blinding. And some of that can cause you to miss some skills, or just you won't be able to avoid any damage that could have been really easy to avoid if you had just changed your graphic settings. So going into that, I want to explain what I do is I set everything to low except for render sampling. I put that to super sample. That way I can still see like the edges of the characters, but everything else is low. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to see pretty much all the skills that are in the game. Now this is the settings a little bit with the settings that I had just recommended. Also default character models as well, just keep everything consistent, but it is a little bit easier on the eyes to see. Things aren't so bright and so flashy, so you're able to dodge a lot more of the damage and you can focus more on enemies with your team. Map mechanics are very important, but I feel like they're under-recognized by a lot of the community. There's a lot of times when I'll be down getting a tranquility buff or a stillness buff and I won't even have any resistance. And I feel like a lot of the time that's because people aren't paying attention. So here's a few descriptions of some of the mechanics. But also what you'll notice is whenever, like for example on Temple right here, when a mechanic's about to come up, you'll see a timer on the side in the upper right hand part of the screen. And when they do come up, it's very important that you really prioritize these buffs over the nodes in the match. Let me know in the comments as well if you would like to see videos on each specific map in detail as to why it's important to get mechanics on ones and why it's not as important for the mechanics on others. If that is something that the community is interested in, I will make each video as well for those. Next point I want to bring up is something that I avidly make sure to do, and that's to avoid dying. Now, at this point, you probably are thinking like, geez, that sounds so simple. Like, what is this advice? Is this really going to help me? But hear me out. You know, too many times what I see is people kind of throw their life away when they're low on cooldowns or when a fight is lost. And I really can't explain why I see this consistently. But one thing that I try to do is just run away. Like, it seems so simple, but there are many games where I see people generally, you know, end the game with 3, 4, 5, even more deaths. And that really does play a role in how the game goes. You know, each death, give or take, you're out of the match for about 30 seconds, like being valuable to your team. So having said, if you're able to mitigate even 3 of those deaths, that's a good minute and a half that you are able to live in a 15-minute game, which is virtually 10% of the game. So I really advise staying alive, or just prioritize staying alive no matter what. If you have to give up a node, to stay alive, just give up that node. Like, effectively live to fight another day, out-rotate your enemy. And so what you'll probably see here is, I guess one of the big things is you'll notice when I fight this Deadeye, he actually gets the jump on me. And what I end up deciding to do is I end up deciding to just leave. I let him have the node, but the reason is, you know, I practice what I preach here, and I choose to actually live instead of dying for a node that he would have gotten anyways, regardless of the situation. So this kind of allows me to rotate out, fight in a different part of the map with the rest of my team, and really just doesn't allow me to become a liability, as I'd be downstate somewhere right now if I didn't leave. So next time you're in a game, I just recommend that you look and see and ask yourself, am I gonna live if I stay here or not? And if you're not, just leave. So the other side of the coin here is focus on kills before nodes. And a lot of the times, just one common mistake I see is people that I've played with that have been on my team during ranked games have really prioritized the node and let the enemy reset. Let's just put it in context. If you're in a team fight or in a 1v1 and you have someone dead to rights without any cooldowns, and you just stand on node because you want to cap it instead of killing them, you're allowing them to reset and come back. Sure, you may cap the node, but who's to say they won't beat you the next time? So if you have someone or a team pretty much dead to rights, I heavily advise that you go in for the kill and then get the node. This allows you to get a little bit more value when you hold the point because they're going to be on respawn. So additionally, this will help really start the snowball that everyone looks for. Bleed your enemies. I can't tell you how valuable this is in a game, especially in ranked where everything is unorganized. What I mean is, if you get a kill, well, what I notice a lot on my team is when we get a kill, people get excited. They want to, you know, finish it off. They want to get that nice stomp, see the cool finisher. But I don't really recommend it always. If you can bleed, bleed. Now within reason, obviously if you need to make a stomp, you know, because of a res utility or something of that nature, then by all means, you know, no, that's within reason there. But the reason why bleeding is so important and why it causes a snowball is, one, Guild Wars 2 by design, the PvP is first to 500 points. So when you're able to keep your enemy off of the map, you know, as time is expiring, you're getting points and they're not, you're causing a snowball. They're gonna have to climb eventually or try to get out of that hole. So what ends up happening is, I noticed that when you start bleeding enemies, they start running in one by one to the node to try to get that decap, which in turn causes them to feed. So it doesn't allow your enemy a chance to regroup. And when they're not able to regroup, they're not able to turn the game around. So next time you're in a match, you know, you get a nice kill, calmly just look and ask yourself, can I bleed this? Will it be worth it? And if it is, and if you can bleed, then do it. If not, obviously, if you need to stomp to get a rally or something like that, do that. Find duel arenas. There's a couple duel servers out there where you can find just a bunch of players trying to really improve on their mechanics. And so I really advise, I mean, duels are free. They don't harm your rating. If you lose, you know, you really can learn a lot more about yourself when you lose a duel than obviously if you just go into ranked games or unranked games and lose as a team. So why I recommend dueling, it's going to help you improve your mechanics. You're going to be able to really learn about yourself, learn about other classes, and effectively you're going to learn what skills really that you need to be paying attention to and which ones you don't have to be spamming your dodges for. So what helped me a lot, and what I think will help each and every one of you kind of just improve overall, is use your, you know, wait times during queues to get some duels in, or duel as warm up before your games. It can be a little intimidating at first because obviously some of us, like myself included, have an ego that we don't want to, hurt. But once you get over that, it's completely fine. Obviously, a shameless plug here, I'm going to just say it, is watch streams of PvPers and players. Now, not just me, obviously I do like to PvP and I do stream every night, 8 p.m. Eastern on the weekdays, sometimes on weekends as well. But I really want to shout out also other streamers that do PvP and some of that other content. So aside from me, there's Boyce who streams PvP, Sinrunner, they're both EU, Naru, Shorts, and Geels, and the list can go on of more PvP streamers, but that's definitely going to help. You can interact with the streamer, you can ask them questions, and more than likely, including myself, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So please come check me out, and if you like this content, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And please comment down below and let me know what you would like to see in the next video.